Let's move on to our other news today that's all about DC. We're going to go from DC to Marvel, but let's start with the DC news. And that is one of the Flash's screenwriters is joining Batman Brave and the Bold. This is Christina. Oh, I'm going to get her name. Christina Hodson, who is joining Batman Brave and the Bold. Previously worked on The Flash with Andy Muschietti. How are you guys feeling about a Flash writer joining a Batman movie?
I love some of her work. She's actually okay. The Flash, putting the Flash is like the main thing she wrote is a little bit of a misnomer. She's also wrote Birds of Prey, one of my favorite recent DC movies. She wrote the Lost Batgirl film that unfortunately got lost to time, but she was obviously very involved with the Batman character through and through. I don't know, but what are your thoughts?
Yeah, so Sabrina, I'll start with you.
I am just kind of over all of it. Not even trying to be a hater. I'm like practicing not being a hater on this stream because I feel like I say that so often. But I don't know, in a world that we have Robert Pattinson's Batman, I just feel like having another Batman completely, tonally different. I feel like it's so difficult to not compare the two. And we already know that one started off like pretty high quality. Because if we have like, I know Superman, which I enjoyed, I had a lot of fun with. Of course, it's like lighthearted, it's fun, it's a little silly. There's a lot of humor in it with the James Gunn of it all. I don't necessarily know how that's going to tie into a film like this. Maybe her being attached will kind of help like reel this in a little bit more. Because like RB3 said, I did really, really enjoy Birds of Prey. But I know some other people didn't. I don't really understand how, because I feel like the humor is so much more elevated and it fits tonally in that film, which means like in this one with the Batman character, I feel like that's tonally more in line with what I see potentially happening with this film. So I guess I'm like hesitantly excited, but I don't really care too much at the same time. Like, it's like, that's good news, but good news for something I don't care about.
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised to hear you say, I thought you liked Superman, Sabrina.
I did like it.
Okay.
And I like it as its own thing. Now thinking like, now we have Batman and we have this, and like, how does that fit tonally with like the Superman film, like all in the same universe? And on top of that, we have Matt Reeves, the Batman. And so that's kind of just where I don't know if I'm really excited for that.
No, that makes sense. Yeah, and that's exactly what the point of that movie was. And James Gunn made it very clear. He was like, this is a setup for a universe. I'm setting the tone, literally setting the tone, which what RB3 and I have talked about a lot, which was ridiculous. Like one of the silliest superhero movies I've ever seen. And that's fine if that's what he wants to do, but it just doesn't work with Matt Reeves' Batman. And I would just hate to water down or splash down or whatever, ruin that project in any way. So for me, it makes sense to get a new Batman. I think they have to get a new Batman. The tone of this new Batman, that's a very interesting question that you posed, Sabrina, because I do think that's important. Because I do think that making it too silly, same as Superman silly, would be a mistake. And obviously, I love my Latino brother, Andrés Muschietti. But at the same time, he is known for being extremely silly. So that is something that I am a little concerned about when it comes to a Batman movie.
I think my thing is, I feel like they should have just like held off on Batman for a bit. Maybe bring him in later, like let's let things rest for a second. Let's open up this universe a little bit more. And I know there's a lot of things in the works, of course, like Supergirl's next. I feel like it's gonna really lean into that superhero fatigue of it all with having like two Batmans coinciding. So it's not like bringing in Robert Pattinson's Batman into this universe. It's more so like maybe letting this rest for a second. And then maybe in like 5 years, we kick off Batman in this universe.
To be fair, though, I think it will take a while. I think they're barely in the pre-production process of Brave and the Bold. So I don't think this will be a movie that's coming out anytime soon. I still think we'll see probably Man of Steel 2. I mean, Superman 2 before we see this movie. So I think it'll be a little bit of time. But I think good for her. I think it'll work out if she knows the DC universe as well as she seems to do.
Yeah, she knows the DC universe. I did, you know me, man. Primetime hater status. I got to show the low lights too. You know what I'm saying? It can't just be all love on first cut. So this is a clip from, spoken out of the lips of Batman in The Flash.
Are welcome.
My ego's far too big to say thank you to someone else. I developed this all-powerful persona to compensate for my childhood trauma.
I too have childhood trauma.
The lasso of truth.
So I mean, it's a little funky there. I don't know. That's a little tricky scene, but it's a comedy vibe. I'll say too, if I'm going to show the low lights, I'll show the highlights too. There's also another scene from Batfleck.
I will say, I feel like you should do a warning if Gal Gadot's acting is going to be shown to us. You didn't even let me know about that.
No. Yeah, that was my bad. My bad. Maybe it was more Gal Gadot's fault in that one. But and then I got to show the highlights too. Shout out to this scene in The Flash as well.
These scars we have make us who we are. We're not meant to go back and fix them. And there's nothing broken with you that needs to be fixed. Take it from an old guy who's made a lot of mistakes. Don't live your past. Live your life. Don't let your tragedy define you.
What if it's supposed to define me? Your tragedy made you a hero.
That also made me alone.
Yeah, so I mean, I would say like pretty deep understanding of the Batman character right there too. Like, it doesn't have to be all tragedy and loneliness like with Bruce Wayne. It's there's a lot of depth, there's a lot of potential there. So I'm there for it.
Yeah, obviously I have so many thoughts. I'm the DC guy. DC I could talk about for hours, and for me it's more about making it more like Batman in the Justice League universe, right? Where he is a little bit more like a leader. He is a guy who has the plans, whether it's Young Justice or Justice League, the animated series, that kind of style of Batman, where he really is thinking ahead, trying to keep the group together. He's still serious and he's still depressed and he's still Batman, but he doesn't necessarily, he's not in like the Matt Reeves universe. Like he's in a universe where he's trying to fight aliens and he's trying to come up with a plan how to fight an alien or try to take down a sorcerer. And it's like, how does Batman going to take down the sorcerer? That kind of stuff is really cool to me, and that's the stuff that I really enjoy. So, shout out to her. Hopefully the movie works out, and hopefully they'll give Andrés a shot, because The Flash was not good. It just was not good.
It wasn't good, but the best part about it, I think most people can agree, were the Batman sequences. I'm showing another clip as we're talking over it right now of the chase sequence that Batfleck had going into the bridge and everything. Honestly, one of the best Batman chase scenes like I've ever seen. And you're telling me that this director and this writer are paired together to make a new, slightly more, I guess, lighthearted Batman? I'm kind of there for it. Like it at least is a good combination on paper.
Yeah. Hopefully it'll work out. I'm hopeful, because I do think we need more female writers in general, and the fact that she is something that has worked with Andrés before or worked with Andy before. So I think that's also a key component to making the chemistry work as well.